Okay, so hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm learning how to set up my first TP-Link home network and devices along with the TP-Link Omada SDN software. I'm relatively new to this ecosystem. However, I do have experience with the software because I used it in the past with my EAP225 wireless access point about 2 years ago. Since I opted to just use my EAPs as standalone rather than manage it through the Omada software, because at the time I only have one access point, and I can't have a PC running 24 by 7 just to manage one access point, and I never really see the point of installing the software at the time, so I just opted for standalone or web management when I was configuring the EAP225. And as you can see from my diagram, this is how my network is currently set up. I have two ISPs, the AT&T and the Comcast. The AT&T is a fiber network. It's a gigabit uplink, while my Comcast is no, it's a backup. It runs 50 megabits per second. So it's a coax cable network. Let me see if I can zoom it in here much better. So um, I'm using a Ubiquiti HMax router for my main router on my main network. So this side of the network is actually my whole network, and this one is the backup network. But all of them works in tandem. But for my main network is the using, like I said, the HMax ER Lite, um, connected to my D-Link 8 port gigabit uplink as the backbone and distribution switch. The backbone switch is also connected to my Kiwi Mocha, which provides Mocha network throughout the different rooms, because I have coax cable terminated to each rooms, and I don't want to lay new UTP cables and lay down punch a hole in each room. But I figured I'd just use the Mocha devices to provide wired Ethernet network to all those rooms. Um, the D-Link is also connected to my wireless access point. This is the TP-Link EAP225. I have two of them. One provides um, access to the IoT devices. The other one is for all the clients in my network for at-home use. While the Comcast is being used as a failover network, it actually provides dedicated network to all of my IoT devices. I want to fully separate the IoT devices to my home network. So the HMax router is double NATed through the Comcast connectivity in the USG router. I opted for this approach using the USG as a live device, like it's already running in case my HMax router died, so I can just put the cable back to the USG devices, or if the USG device died, I'll just put the cable connected to the HMax, and both of them should be okay. The reason for that is, like I said, they are not internet ready right out of the box. They require configuration. So having them both running at the same time, doing their own thing, the other one, the USG dedicated to the IoT, my HMax dedicated for everything else on the network, makes me feel a little bit better that in case one of them died, it's just a matter of maybe 5 minute work of plugging and unplugging a cable towards the router. Okay. So back to my journey with my TP-Link network. I opted for this setup because it's cheaper in the long run. The Ubiquiti unified devices are really getting more expensive. I cannot find any cheaper devices compared to the TP-Link equivalent devices. So I would like to get more switches and more access points if needed, not necessarily live or online, but to play around as well. So I figured I'd go with the Omada versus rather than the Ubiquiti line of products. So I'll start very simple and very minimalistic with my um, TP-Link networking. As you can see, this is my current setup. This is how I'm currently set up right now. So this laptop that I'm using to record this video is actually connected to the OC-300. This is the controller. I opted for the hardware controller rather than having install a software on one of my PC, or rather than having a subscription with the TP-Link cloud controller. And I have the TP-Link router. So in the camera you can see this is the TP-Link router and this is the controller. Controller is I'm surprised how wide it is. I'm thinking it should be much smaller, but it's wide. I don't have any complaints. It has two ports. One of them is connected to the LAN port of the TP-Link VPN gateway. Okay, and the first port is a one port only, and the rest of the ports, these three are WAN and LAN. I can configure either a WAN port or a LAN port, but this last port is dedicated for LAN port. The first port is dedicated for WAN port, and the fiber port, this one SFP module, is also dedicated for the wide area network, or for internet access. So in the diagram you can see this is how it's connected. The green cable is the one connected to my laptop towards the OC-300. The red cable, Ethernet cable that you can see here, this is the one connected to the VPN gateway, and this cable is the AT&T network. Okay. Okay, so let's see here. Let me go here. IP config. Let's see what my IP is. So this setup, it's completely right out of the box. Well, not really completely. I did a reset on this one because I did minor configurations earlier today. So I did a factory reset. To do a factory reset, just press and hold those reset buttons in there and should be okay. And I also created a Omada cloud account in here. You can see here, all I have to do is log in and I will be able to log in, but I would like to make sure that everything works. So like I said, this is a factory reset devices, and the way it's configured, I already have internet access. As you can see in here, has network access. And let me go to cnn.com. Okay, maybe I don't have internet access. Oh yeah, I do have internet access. Definitely I do have internet access. Okay, so I have internet access in the default setup of these devices being factory reset, and I have an IP address. So I also have an IP address for my controller. I already got it already. It's 192.168.0.151, and if I put it in here, 192.168.0.151. Go. I'm using a beta controller software, the one that I got from TP-Link, because I had some issues with the speed test capability of Omada controller. I cannot get the software to do speed test for the life of me using the AT&T gigabit network, but I can do the speed test using the Comcast network. Okay, so I'm using that one, and let me see the gateway IP. See if I can get it at 0.1. And this is how the factory reset devices looks like. It's asking for the username, admin, then there is no password for you have to create a new password for these devices. I will not do that today or now in this video, because I would like to configure all of this using the controller, and I don't want to mess it up. So let me check again. Let's see. Yep, I'm getting the default gateway DNS server. Everything looks right out of the box. So that's the good news on this one. Compared to the Ubiquiti line of products, you have to configure them, have a basic configuration, either run the research or run the necessary configurations on the Unify to provide internet access to your clients. The TP-Link one, everything right out of the box, it runs on its default configuration. Everything is pre-configured, just like running any consumer routers or devices or switches. I don't really know about the Omada 300 controller, the OC-300 controller, but it acts like a switch or a hub, this particular port, because like I said, it's connected here to that port, and I got an IP for my laptop. Okay, so let me go to the cloud. If you don't have an account, the account is free to create. There's no fee to register a new account, completely free. So logging in. So I don't have any controller on my TP-Link cloud defined yet. If you log in using the IP method, then you don't have to go do this stage that this part that I'm going to do. You have to do this, but for this one, I'm using the cloud to access it, just because if I'm doing some firewall configurations and everything, I still would like to have complete access to the controller before I lock out myself. So I'm doing this just to be safe, but this is something that you can configure later on to turn off cloud access. If you like to really just have access to your controllers locally, it can be done. For now, for this particular video, I'm doing it on the TP-Link cloud. Okay, so I'm going to add a hardware controller. As you can see here, you can add a software controller. This is a Windows based software that you install on your Windows machine, and then you have to add it in the Omada cloud. Again, like I said, I don't want to use a dedicated PC that runs 24/7. I opted for this one. I think this is one much more power efficient rather than just a PC, but your choice. Okay, so click add. It says here power on your hardware controller and connect it to the internet, then wait for the cloud LED to flash and click next. So in the camera you can see that the cloud LED is flashing in there. Not sure if you can see, I hope you can see it, but it's flashing. I'm gonna click next, and I need to type in the device key. I took a photo of the bottom part of the device of the Omada controller. That's where I have it, so let me just go take a look at that photo and add in the device key. So warning, battery is below 50%. Oh gosh, battery is below 50%. Okay, my phone, which I took the photo of the device key, saying that slow on battery. So anyway, let me do it really fast. Okay, I'm entering the device key. Hopefully I get it right. Okay, almost there. I need to enter a security. Let me see. Okay, this one is much better. I'm pretty sure I can type that one. And there you go. I have added the hardware controller to my TP-Link cloud account, and it says online along with the IP address. So now in this screen I cannot do anything other than launch the configuration interface of the controller, so that I will be able to add, adapt, or see all the dashboards and the cool stuff of the what's happening activities on my network. So let me click that one. I mean, close some tabs. So I'm using a really old laptop to record all these videos, and then so it's really slow. So let's get started. Just change the controller name, maybe call it controller, up to you, controller, and then I'm in EST, Eastern Time Zone. Clicking home, click next. So let me skip this one so that you can see how I can adapt this device. So let me skip this. I don't have any access points. In the future I'm gonna add the switch, not future, in the next video plan to add the switch, PoE switch, access points to configure. So for now I'll just skip here. I cannot skip this one, so I'll just add, you know, a temporary okay. That seems about right. Seems about right. Finish. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. Drink my coffee. Okay, hold on. Okay, so this is an overview screen of what you're supposed to see, what you're expected to, you know, what can you expect on the software interface. So it doesn't have a gateway. I believe this is a bug on the system, but the way you can show a gateway in here is you need to configure it to do a periodic speed test. I'll see what I can, if I can find that particular option again. Like I said, I'm pretty new to this software. Tried it a few times, but and I've been in communications with the TP-Link support team because of the bug. Because every time, like I said, every time I do a speed test, this one internet capacity always fails on my gigabit uplink, but always do fine on my Comcast uplink. So they have a pretty cool interface. If you're familiar with the Ubiquiti line, you're gonna feel comfortable with the interface. I've seen that, I've used that in the past. It looks very similar. I don't have in-depth expertise on either of these software, so I can only provide my feedbacks on first impressions. So you can see statistics here, switch. I don't have any switch. Speed test statistics. Current site has no WAN, probably because I haven't adapted the device yet. Map, topology. So let me just go through quickly on all of these options in here. Devices. Okay, it says pending on my router, so I'll click adapt. So that one I can adapt my devices. So while it's doing that, let me go to the clients. Okay, I apologize if I always say just don't have any script on this video. I'm just going through the motions. Okay, insight, nothing in here. So many options in here. I'll skip those options. They're probably not going to show anything because I only have a very simple setup in here. Then log. Let me just do a quick check on the devices and see if it has been adapted already at the gateway. Okay, though it's configuring. Let me do a quick one of myself in here. I'll just call it router. Okay, fairly original. Apply. Okay, admin. Let me close that one. Some things, a little bit slow, so let me just drink my coffee while I'm waiting for this. Okay, it says the controller is disconnected. Okay, looks like it has reconnected. Devices, map, clients. Okay, nothing's happening. When I adapted the device, it could be the reason why it's not showing anything on other options. Okay, I can see it now. And turned out I haven't renamed it yet, so connected, let me rename it again. Config, call it router, click apply. There you go. So it was configuring earlier, so I cannot, apparently it doesn't want to be bothered when I configured it. So let me go again to the options, clients, nothing in there. Inside, lots of options at the top. I'll explore that much later on as soon as I have other devices connected. This one, log. Yep, it shows the one router is down, so let me just archive it. I don't like seeing that. Then delete everything in here, clear all. Let me see. Yep, nothing in there. Admin, clear all the admin accounts, and then settings. Okay, so this side I'll call it my home network. Okay, I need to do a periodic speed test. Like I said, it bugs me from time to time if I see the gateway is NA, because I have a gateway. I do have a gateway, so I need to check and do the speed test. But the gateway doesn't, the NA gateway doesn't go away if I don't select the periodic speed test, which is kind of dumb, I think. So let me do a quick save, and then let me go to the wired network. So you can see here the site is called HomeNet. That's the one that I named my network. So this SFE1 is the fiber module one network or internet port, and the one port, and all these are configurable either by LAN or WAN. I may have said the other one ports, probably the LAN 3, probably LAN 1 or LAN 2. Okay, anyway, so let me configure some of the settings in here for the WAN. I just want to have I'm a fan of the quad DNS server, so 9.9.9.9 and Cloudflare, and let me call it, main. Alright, VLAN is nothing, and I click apply. Okay, and let's see what happens. It work. Okay, so now I'll go to the LAN option of this. I'm not gonna go through all of this today. I think these are more advanced options and it requires more devices like the access points. But for now, let me just go to this one. See, I do have a LAN connection though, because I have a hub or a pseudo hub, because it's a OC-300. Acts like one. Okay, controller is disconnected. Again, I don't know why it keeps saying that. But profile. Okay, so for the networks, I do have one, the LAN interface. So let's see. So it's VLAN 1, so this is the default VLAN. See what we can see here. Okay, yep, I do have the one LAN 1, one LAN 2, and then I have two dedicated LAN ports, and then two flexible one LAN port and one SFP fiber one ports dedicated for that one. Okay, I apologize for that correction mistake earlier that I said I have one LAN port. I actually have two LAN ports and two configurable WAN and LAN, and have one fiber wide area network interface. Okay, so domain name, I'd like to have local. That just looks right. DNS server, I'd like to use 9.9.9.9. Okay, save. Okay, it's complaining about the domain. Okay, local LAN. Let's see what's in the advanced. Nothing I would like to use. Click save. So this is what I used to have earlier. 192, you can see the DNS server. Okay, so I'm going to do a release. Okay, so can shouldn't have any new. Okay, so the DNS suffix has been added in here, the local LAN. That's the one I just configured earlier when I click this one. So let me just check. Local, yeah, there you go, local LAN. And let's see if I did get the 9.9.9 DNS. Okay, I did get the 9.9. So how do we test that one? It's ccCNN.com. Well, and CNN.com. This is the server. Yeah, squad 9.9.9.9, and let's say 9.9.9.9 is still down. I'm using the Cloudflare, and then google.com still works. eBay.com. It works. And that's it for this video today. As you can see, I have properly connected to the internet right out of the box, and it requires very minimal configuration. So if you're new, not very tech savvy, these devices are very easy to configure and set up, and it's really fast. Just plug and play, almost very similar to the routers that are wireless routers that are very common in the market today. Plug in your internet port, internet source to your WAN port. Go to one of the LAN ports, connect your hub or router or access point or whatever, even your devices, your PC, and that's it. So let me do a quick disconnect in here and see if it's gonna work, because in this screen it says here LAN 1. You can see here LAN 1 and LAN 2. I'm going to disconnect my laptop, this one. You can see this network connection will get disconnected, and I'm going to put it in the LAN 1 and see how it works. Okay, so let's check. Okay, you can see here, oh, there you go, it says disconnected. Let me check my IP. CNN.com. Of course, because I have, basically don't have connection. BJ is disconnected. Let me do this. Okay, that worked. Let's connect this one. This is LAN 1, and you can see immediately I have connectivity in here. Let me do IP config. Yep, it's the same IP. Okay. Okay, so let me do a quick unplug. Okay. There you go. Will die. This one will die on me. Let's do it again. Let me disconnect that one more time. It will die on me. Will be general request timeout, then general failure error, and let me connect again. There you go. That's it for this video. Like I said, it's easy to configure, very easy to set up. out of the box, fully reset, everything done in less than 5 minutes, or everything done in less than 10 minutes. It's up and running with your network. Okay, thank you, and till the next video.